Hello everyone, my name is Prashanti. Today we are going to discuss about emerging technologies. Emerging networking technologies. We all know that network is a collection of computers that are connected together. And networking technologies will allow data exchange between information systems. And it is primarily used by businesses and educational institutions. Wired and wireless networking technologies are continued to improve to increase speed and connectivity options for LANs and internet connections. And it is continued to improve to support the continued growth in internet-based multimedia and communications, which includes voice over IP, video on demand, and mobile TV. Telepresence video conferencing, which is called improvements in video conferencing are made to mimic the real-time meeting environments. In this figure, you can see the example for telepresence video conferencing, where students in this classroom can see the live-size projected image of professor, and instructor can see the projected image of these students. So this is nothing but they are mimicking the real-time meeting environment. And businesses are using this technology as it is a best replacement for face-to-face meetings. Telepresence video conferencing is the best replacement for face-to-face meetings. Monitoring systems. So emerging networking technologies, it involves location information also. So which includes geo-browsing and geofencing. They are utilizing GPS monitoring systems. Vehicle monitoring systems and child monitoring systems. Vehicle monitoring systems are nothing but these are the systems which are installed in the car to track the location information of the car. They are using networking technologies in vehicle monitoring systems. So we can track the car using networking technologies. For example, a parent can track the children's location using like vehicle monitoring systems which are installed in the car. And also, employers can track the location of the car of employee using networking technologies. And we have child monitoring systems. Child monitoring systems are used to track the physical location of the children. In this figure, you can see GPS-based child monitoring systems. It allows parents to track their children in real time. So we can install mobile applications or web applications so that we can track our children's location. You can see the green mark which shows the child's current location, and red marks shows children's past locations, history of locations. And you can see the registered offenders, and the parents will be notified if it finds children's location to registered offenders as 500 feet. So if it finds registered offenders within 500 feet from children's location, then it will notify the parents. And also we have option for children if they think they are lost or if they feel afraid or scared, they can press the SOS button so that parents will be notified and we can know that our children is in danger. And we can take necessary actions. It is not only for children, we can also give this to elderly people or anyone who does hiking or any kind of traveling. If they think they are lost, they can notify you, they can notify their relatives or friends using monitoring systems. We have home health monitoring systems, where these monitoring systems will ask questions about food, medication, and so on. So it can be given, we can give this to elderly people. So it will ask questions to elderly people about food and their medication, daily medication, so that if it detects any problems, it will notify to some other person. And we have home monitoring systems. And we have sensors, where smart door locks. We can lock our front door of our home using our mobile phone. They are called smart door locks. And we also have sensors in thermostats. They are nothing but temperature, humidity, light. We can control our room temperature or humidity and lights using our mobile phones and using mobile applications. New wireless and cloud applications. So we have wireless displays. Wireless displays are nothing but we can display our content from our mobile phone or our iPad. From any other device, we can display our content to our computer or TV using wireless displays, or any other device. We can display our data from our mobile device to any other computer, TV, or any other device. And we have wireless and cloud printing, where our mobile device or smartphone will be connected to internet, and our printer should also be connected to internet, and we can directly give the print command from our smartphone or iPad to that printer. And for cloud printing, it is not necessary to be within few feet of distance, but we can also send print command to other printers which are so far from our mobile device. So we can give print command to printer in airports, in libraries, by sitting in our home. So in this figure you can observe this. We can give print command from our iPad, which is connected to internet, access to the printer which is also connected to the internet. Wired networking standards. So the most commonly used and most widely used networking standard is Ethernet. And we have most commonly used Ethernet standards for LAN, local area networks. They are fast Ethernet. So its fast Ethernet supports data transfer rates up to 100 Mbps, which is megabits per second. Gigabit Ethernet. It is also one of the commonly used Ethernet standard for LAN. It supports data transfers at 1000 Mbps with 1000 megabits per second, which is also called 1 gigabits per second. And we have another Ethernet standard, which is 10 gigabits Ethernet. It supports data transfers at 10 gigabits per second. And we have 40 gigabit and 100 gigabit Ethernet standards. They are approved in 2010. And this Ethernet is invented in mid 1970s, and it is continued to improve by increasing speed and other connectivity options. 400 gigabit and terabit Ethernet are being explored. And the new standard for Ethernet is Power over Ethernet, which is PoE. It allows both electric power and data to be sent over the standard Ethernet cables. So we have Ethernet cables. in that cable, now we can send only data, but now with power over even Ethernet, we can also send the electrical power. It is most oftenly used in business networks. It requires special hardware and devices designed for PoE, but it is also possible to get this in regular Ethernet by using Ethernet adapter, like power adapter. And it eliminates the need for devices to be near a power outlet. So as it gives the power for the devices which are connected to the internet, so it eliminates the need for devices to be near a power outlet. It directly gives the power to the devices in the network. In this figure, you can see non-PoE outdoor wireless access point. So it powers the devices through Ethernet connection, and it has PoE adapter. So for our regular Ethernets, we can give the power. We can connect the power over in the Ethernet using power over Ethernet adapter. It powers devices through an Ethernet connection. And we have a phone line standard. It allows computers to be networked through ordinary existing telephone jacks. We also have power line home plug AV standard. It is also the same, like it allows computers to be networked through ordinary existing power outlets. And both of them are used to network home entertainment devices. We have a GHN standard, which is Unified Worldwide Standard. It is used for creating home networks, and it will create home networks over any existing home wiring, phone, power, and coaxial cable. We have wireless networking standards. We have seen the wired networking standards as Ethernet, which is commonly used, most widely used standard networking technology. Now we have wireless networking standards, which is Wi-Fi. So it is developed in late 1990s, and it is a family of networking standards, and it uses IEEE standard of 802.11. So it is the current standard for wireless networks in home, office, public Wi-Fi hotspot. So nowadays we are all using Wi-Fi. So it is the current standard for Wi-Fi networks. It is built into most of the computers sold today. So it is automatically built, and it is incorporated into many everyday products. So some of them are printers, digital cameras, and external hard disk drives, and many other products. And it is designed for medium range data transfers. So it is for just medium range data transfers. So if it is indoors, it will allow up to 100 to 300 feet distance, and if it is outdoors, it will allow 300 to 900 feet distance. So it is designed for medium range data transfers. In this figure, you can see smart scales. It transmits readings to smartphone via Wi-Fi. So this should be connected to the same wireless network, and it should also connect both smartphone and this smart scale should be connected to the wireless network, which is Wi-Fi. So we can transmit readings to smartphone using Wi-Fi. And it limitations includes relatively limited range. So as it is medium range data transfer, it allows up to, like, now if it is indoor, as we have discussed, 100 to 300 feet distance, and if it is outdoors, 300 to 900 feet distance. So it is limited to relatively limited range. And we have different versions of Wi-Fi, and the most like widely used Wi-Fi versions are 802.11g, 802.11n, and 802.11ag. We have WiMAX 802.16. It is a new standard, and it is very fast and larger range than Wi-Fi. So it will allow up to like 2 to 10 miles. And we also have fixed WiMAX. So it is designed to provide internet access to fixed location but larger coverage area. So it provides internet access to fixed location. So it has towers. So if the tower range is very large, it will cover large area, but it is fixed to that location. And we have mobile WiMAX 802.16e, where it is more for mobile devices, and it is designed to bring fast wireless networking to users using mobile phones, computers, and other WiMAX enabled device. In this figure, you can see WiMAX versus Wi-Fi, where this yellow or orange, like orange, it represents Wi-Fi hotspot, and this green color area represents WiMAX. And I forgot to say, this fixed WiMAX is up to it will cover up to entire city. So WiMAX hot zone is nothing but the coverage area and the location where this WiMAX is provided. And you can see here it is within the range of this tower, so it is fixed location. And WiMAX hot zone can provide services to anyone in the hot zone. So this WiMAX can provide a service to anyone in this hot zone, but Wi-Fi hotspot can provide only up to that medium range, which is if it is up to this house. If it is up to this house, it will provide Wi-Fi or internet access, wireless network connection to that house itself. But with WiMAX, it provides service to anyone within this range, and it covers large area. And we have wireless power, where we can recharge, we can power our devices using wireless signals and magnetic induction. Wireless Power Consortium supports QI standard, and it can use a built-in or external charging receiver. It will have built-in receiver or external. We can use either anyone, like built-in or external charging receiver. And it is built into walls, homes, cars, garage floors in future. In this figure, you can see QI wireless charging stations. They are available in some recent cars. So we can recharge in our car using these wireless charging stations. In this figure, you can see Toyota Avalon. It has built a QI wireless charging station. So we can recharge our devices using this wireless charging stations. Cellular standards. It is often referred as mobile broadband. We have 3G and 4G, which is third generation and fourth generation. It supports both data and voice. We know like internet and voice through phone calls. And we have two primary standards for 4G fourth generation. They are mobile WiMAX, as we have discussed about the WiMAX. We all know that Wi-Fi is wireless fidelity, which is medium range, and this WiMAX is larger, like it will cover larger area. And we also have long-term evolution, LTE. It is fastest standard, and LTE is nowadays used by AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile and other internet service providers. And we also have short range wireless standards, Bluetooth. So I forgot to say mobile WiMAX. It is not a like technically cellular standard, but some internet service providers like Sprint, they are using mobile WiMAX. So short range wireless standards, Bluetooth. We all know we will transfer our media, image files, video files through Bluetooth, but it is very short range. Like it should be within 3 feet, or like it should be very near. Devices should be very near to each other. And it is the virginal wireless standard designed for short range connections between devices, as we have discussed that. And we also have wireless USB. It is designed to connect peripheral devices. It is similar to Bluetooth, but it transfers more quickly. So it is also same as Bluetooth, but it is fast. Wi-Fi Direct. It enables Wi-Fi devices to connect directly to each other without any additional network hardware. So without any USB or anything, using Wi-Fi, we can directly connect our device to other devices. And we regularly use it. In this figure, you can see it allows Wi-Fi devices to connect directly to one another. So it will provide the list of devices which are available, and Wi-Fi devices. So when we should connect using username and password, or user ID and password. So when it approves, it will directly connect to that device. It doesn't require any hardware, and it is competitor to Bluetooth. Nowadays we are using Wi-Fi more than Bluetooth, so it is a great competitor to Bluetooth. So this is multimedia transfer standards, and we have ultra wideband UWB. So this is also for data transfer, like for video files, and it is a little slow. WiGig is also similar to ultra wideband UWB, but it is little fast. And we have wireless HD, YHD. These are like very short range. Devices should be very near to each other. And in wireless HD, it has a great quality, and it is top quality. We can send that like when we send the video files and any other files, it will send through top high quality and uncompressed files. And it is this ultra wideband, this is little slow. It is in Mbps, but when it comes to wireless HD, YHD, it is very fast, and it is like 26 gigabits per second. The speed is very fast. And we also have TransferJet. It is developed by Sony company, and so in the TransferJet, it should be very like attached devices should be very near to each other. In this figure, you can see common wireless networking standards where we provided with the category short range, medium range and long range. As we have discussed, Bluetooth and wireless USB are range of 33 feet to 200 feet, and we also have multimedia transfer standards when we send top quality video files to other device. We use this wireless HD, TransferJet, and so this intended purpose is like when we send our content to our electronic devices like computers, TVs, DVD players and so on, its range should be very close, and like devices should be very close to each other, which is in the range of 1 inch to 33 feet. And we also have medium range. We have discussed Wi-Fi, which is wireless fidelity, which use internet IEEE standard of 802.11, and we have Wi-Fi direct. So this Wi-Fi should be, as I have discussed, 100 to 300 feet indoors and 300 to 900 feet outdoors, and the purpose is to connect computers and other devices to LAN, and Wi-Fi direct to connect to computers and other devices directly without any hardware. So we have WiMAX and mobile WiMAX. These are like 6 miles and 30 miles range, and it is used to provide internet access to large geographical area. As we have discussed, it can fixed WiMAX is larger geographical area. It can cover up to an entire city. And we have cellular standards. We discussed about 3G and 4G, which is 4th generation and 3rd generation. And it is to connect mobile phones and mobile devices to cellular network. And the range is 10 miles. Quick quiz. Which of the following is most widely used networking protocol? Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct. So we discussed Ethernet is most widely used networking protocol, like networking standard, and Wi-Fi is wireless fidelity. It is a wireless networking standard, and Wi-Fi direct is used to connect to devices without any hardware. So Ethernet is the correct answer. True or false? Power over Ethernet eliminates the need for devices to be near a power source. So we discussed about power over Ethernet, where it will send power through the Ethernet cables. So it will power the devices which are in the internet. So it eliminates the need for devices to be near power source to power the devices within the network. So power over Ethernet will directly give power to the devices in the network. So it eliminates the need. So it is true. And we have a current standard for wireless protocols in home, office, public hotspot. We all using Wi-Fi, and we always use in home, office and public hotspots like libraries, and in coffee shops we use Wi-Fi. So the current standard for wireless protocol is Wi-Fi. These are the answers. So this is for today. Thank you.